protesting today?
Because Trump feeds off of people's fears and hate and anger.
Fears and hate and anger.
What's the #1 reason you don't like Donald Trump?
I don't like him.
So am I. But the Native Americans like to question it.
This is why. Hold on.
Why do you carry a gun?
Because I'm a fucking American.
Yeah.
I have that right.
Don't touch him, man.
I have the right.
You touch him, you're down.
This is my
You touch
Second
him, you're
Amendment
down.
right. This is my Second Amendment right.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you an American?
Fucking do that again.
It's all right. He asked me, why am I carrying a gun? Because I'm an American
Stay
citizen.
away from him.
Are you an American citizen? Are you an American citizen?
Yeah.
Why are you not carrying a gun?
Because he doesn't want to carry a gun and add to the assholes. He doesn't want to add to the assholes like you.
It has nothing to do with. Oh my God! I'm an asshole.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm defending my
We're an
Second
American,
Amendment right.
ma'am. What do you have a Mexican flag for?
Man,
Absolutely.
Mexican. I got
Yeah, right.
I gotta carry
Nice
a gun.
tattoo below the eye.
I'm
You just get it off. You just get out of
I'm
here.
Mexican and American flag.
Nice tattoo there, buddy. You need a teardrop
Why
tattoo
do you
maybe
think
next
Trump
month.
is a racist?
Trump is he doesn't
Why?
like women, he doesn't like blacks, he doesn't like Hispanics, and he doesn't like Muslims.
He's hired more
doesn't
Hispanic
he likes
workers in this
himself.
country than
That's all he likes is himself.
Do the damn job, asshole!
Why do you have to?
I'm
Why are we
white.
calling names?
I'm white.
Why are we calling names?
So, white people don't like Trump just as much
White
as
people.
assholes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Why don't you go get a job?
I have a job. I'm
Do you?
retired.
What?
I work
You at the food stamp bureau?
What? Don't even think about it. Don't even
Infowars.com. You're outside of the Donald Trump rally here in Phoenix,
Not gonna
Arizona.
happen. You're not gonna
You
happen.
don't like American lead.
Trump, fascist pig. Trump, fascist pig. Trump, fascist pig. Fascist pig.
This gentleman has also been standing here. So what are your thoughts? What brought you out today? Let's start with that.
Well, okay, I'm here to protest psychotic, abusive capital, which threatens to completely destroy our environment and take us with it. Also, I want to say, word up, 505, war zone, all that shit. Sorry, can't curse.
Okay, so you got this Trump sign. Tell us what this is, anarchist against Trump.
I really think the anti-authoritarian voice, not just against government, but also against capital, needs to be made heard. Neither force has your best interests in mind. I mean, there's a psychological phenomenon known as acquired sociopathy. Studies, which I believe seem to be pretty truthful, show that power decreases empathy for other people. As long as we have power, there will be people who care less about us, because we're just a number to them. We don't have faces, personalities. We're just a name and a number. And
well, how do we overcome this? If you had your choice, who would be the next president of the United States?
I wouldn't want a president of the United States, just in general. I hope one day we come to a place where we can collapse all this.
Trump talked to, I feel like our foremothers have set in motion for us to have equal rights, to have voting rights, to be able to do this. And I feel like with his disrespectful of women, it would all be gone. It would be gone.
So you think that he's taking the country backwards in the way of civil rights?
I think he's taking it way backwards in the civil rights. That what I've looked through and the polls I've watched and what I've read, it's young men mostly, and a lot of people who are afraid of different things. My grandkids would actually be fatherless if it was under Trump's plan of building a wall and sending them back. Their dad is born in Mexico, is a U.S. citizen, but under his plan, he would be sent back. He works here, pays taxes in California, works for PG&E, a good job, supports his family, but she would be a single mom with 3 kids.
Now, Miss, I'm going to challenge you for 1 second, because I don't support the wall. I'll put that straight out there. But as far as deportation's been going on for years. They have nothing to do with Donald Trump. They're not a new thing, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, with his aggressiveness and his, the people that he's got into that, and aggressiveness going into his rallies and what I've watched, it's going to be even more people anti-Mexican in our country with building a wall. Who cares about the wall? I don't care about the wall. They have tunnels. What is he going to do about that? There's no way to stop it. No. But he's putting on a rally that is way far backwards than what we can do better with. He is sending it backwards to an angry and hate against it. And what's going to happen on the streets in New Mexico, which I've seen before time and time again here in New Mexico and Albuquerque, it's going to send it backwards. And the hate is going to come out even more. And it's very sad. It's very sad. When James Boyd got shot, I was 2 blocks away from where he got shot, heard that, and the same kind of thing happened. It didn't get any better. It doesn't get any better. The hate begets hate. That's all that happens. The sending home to wherever, where did we all come from? You want to go way back, way back, way back? Who's really supposed to be this country? We need a president that can be respected and stand up to other countries and talk with respect to other countries and not repeat himself in one sentence. I just don't respect him.
Who is your presidential candidate?
Well, my presidential candidate didn't make it as far as I wanted it to. I am independent, and will still vote that way.
Who was it? If you had your choice, who would it be?
I don't want to say.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, miss. All right.
Excuse me, sir. Can I see your sign?
Sure.
Trump hates women. So, explain that to me.
It's very easy here. I mean, there's a 20-year history of verifiable quotes he's put in books. He says terrible things about women. Here, take that.
Okay, but you think he hates women?
I do. You don't say the things that he does when a respected national news personality that a lot of Republicans appreciate calls him on his misogyny, and he says it's because of her period. It's really sad.
Well, I mean, I'll say he's not very politically correct, but
it's not politically correct.
I mean, I'm sorry his speech offended you.
Oh, he's not offended me.
Well, you're out here protesting and saying he hates women, so he obviously offended you.
My daughter, he's offended my fiance,
He's offended you, too. How did Donald Trump offend you?
Oh, because he called women fat pigs.
So are you offended by all media that says things about women?
It depends what they say.
He said that to you? Donald Trump said you were a pig?
I'll tell you really right now because we're also.
Huh? Well, look, I just think that these are lies and false narratives against Donald Trump as a candidate, and it's meant to keep him out of the office, and it's not fair.
They're actually not lies at all.
How can you really think that Donald Trump...
You know what he said?
No.
He likes the line in...
Okay, so Hillary Clinton has said many things that are bad about black people and all kinds of people.
What does that have to do with this?
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to sit out here and protest people for their speech, but why don't you protest against Hillary? Why do you only protest Trump? It's because how he's conditioned. It's because it's how you're conditioned. This is how people are conditioned by the media to hate Donald Trump. Let me ask you a question, ladies. Did you have a problem with Donald Trump before he was running for office?
Yeah, I never liked him, actually.
Really?
Yeah, really.
How did you display that? What did you do to protest Donald Trump?
I didn't have to protest him. He wasn't running for president of the United States.
Oh, and that's how the media and the establishment have treated it, too. Where did my sign guy go?
All of our military families live that way.
Okay, the military supports Donald Trump, but that's fine.
Yeah, military supports right.
Hey, where did my sign guy go? He ran away. Oh, wait, I'm going to go get him. We're not letting this guy get away. I at least want to make him look how dumb he really is. Hey. Why'd you walk away from me, man? You didn't want to talk to me, did you? You were afraid I'd school you.
No, you just kind of ran.
Well, I mean, you're out here holding up a sign, so I'm just engaging.
I know, but it's fine.
I'm just engaging in political discourse. So you really think Donald Trump hates women when he's had women campaigning with him? He has women that opens up his rallies. He has put women in very powerful positions at his companies. He's married multiple women. His daughters look up to him. You think he hates women? You think he hates women? He's walking away. This is awesome. He's walking away. This man, hey, look, Donald Trump maybe hates women, maybe he doesn't, but you, sir, are not very intellectual, okay? You're out here protesting Donald Trump. You're out here buying into the conditioning that the mainstream media and the establishment wants you to do. So you're out here protesting Trump, and when I challenge you on your stances, you walk away. You walk away. So you really think Donald Trump hates women, even though many women have come out and praised him, and he puts women in positions of power? Do you really think he hates women?
He has a long history of documenting.
You just keep saying the same thing over and over. Here, he made a nice little list here. How long did it take you to find that list?
These are Boris statements. We're talking about hating women would be like women aren't smart enough to work.
Are you okay with him blaming Megyn Kelly's question on her period?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Listen to this little coward. Oh!
Let him talk, if I may say.
Fall around and harass the women that Bill Clinton raped.
Exactly.
And they had to settle out of court.
Bill Clinton is a rapist. He's
Bill
not
Clinton
just
paid $800,000 to. We're friends.
But this man's protesting Trump because that's the programming.
How about when Hillary called Monica Lewinsky a bimbo?
Keep going.
No.
Well, why don't you protest Hillary and Bill?
He's a rapist. And, I mean, since Oxford, since he was at Oxford when he was a Rhodes Scholar, he raped all those women, and she harasses them and destroys them. I mean, you must believe the woman.
It's a fact. I just want to know why you're protesting Donald Trump, but not Hillary or Bill Clinton.
All those women have come forth. Do you believe Bill Cosby?
Because he's programmed, but he can't admit it.
So those women are lying, including Beverly Johnson, the model, and all those people.
Why can't he walk around with a sign?
No one's stopping him from walking around with a sign. If you walk around with a sign like this at the Republican National Convention, you're bound to engage in discourse. I mean, right? I mean, is this absurd, or am I?
Well, what is this about surrounding him and trying
You're right.
What are you talking about? He's out here protesting. This is what he wants.
There's no threat.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, see, these people just hate media.
You guys aren't surrounding him to have an argument. You guys are creating a dance circle for your boy.
Yeah.
This guy, he's been doing this all day. I don't know. He's kind of funny. Hey, do you have any political beliefs, sir?
No, sir. I just got love in my heart.
Yeah.
Are you going to vote?
Yes, sir.
Who are you going to vote for?
For Hillary.
So,
He likes rapists. He likes rape.
Hold on.
He likes rape. He likes
Why is the first thing rape? And why do I hate women?
Yeah, it's assassination of Bill Cosby style rapist.
No, you can't liken the two because they both have Bill as their first name. What are you talking about?
Bill Clinton hangs out with known pedophiles. All right, this guy is just a joke. Yeah, hey guys, this is a Hillary Clinton supporter. He has no intellect. He just dances in the streets.
This is Hillary right here.
There it is, folks. This is what's going to save America. America's going down the drain, and this guy wants to dance in the streets and vote for Hillary. That's going to solve anything. I also want to point out, I think that hey, wait a second. I think that the Trump hates women sign guy left again. For the third time, he avoids confrontation.
You have crossed a line, Mr. Trump.
What makes Donald Trump a Nazi? Well, Trump, the way he's forming a political movement is similar to how the European fascists form their movements. What do you think about Donald Trump?
I hate him, to be honest. He's a racist, he's a fascist, and he doesn't belong here.
Do you think deporting illegal immigrants is racist?
Yeah, I mean, they've been here. Yeah, it is racist. It is.
Excuse me, ma'am? What do you think about Donald Trump?
I think he's a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot.
Is he a racist?
Yes.
Why is he a racist?
Because he discriminates against people just because of their race.
He wants to build a wall against Mexico. That's completely racist.
Is building a wall racist?
It is.
Yes.
Why is building a wall racist?
Because he wants to block all Hispanic people from entering our country. That's not what America is about.
But Mexico also has a wall on their southern border. Does that make Mexico racist?
No, but...
What about the Vatican? What about Israel?
Well, Israel and Palestine are another story.
His reason for building a wall is fear, okay?
Yeah. And immigrants who come from Mexico are not more likely to commit crime. They're not drug dealers. They're not bringing rape. They're just normal
trying to protect
people.
their families.
Exactly.
Do you think Black Lives Matter is a non-violent organization?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I haven't heard of people being using force, except for in instances of self-defense. So using self-defense and being for self-defense and using self-defense when somebody hits you, that's different than you going and hitting somebody, you know?
Do you think Donald Trump is a racist?
Sure.
Yeah, you can talk to him.
Why do you think Donald Trump is a racist?
Because of what he says.
Could you give me an example?
Because he says all Mexicans are rapists. It makes generalities about a group of people. That's the definition of racism.
Do you think it's wrong for any presidential candidate to use the color of somebody's skin to get appointed votes?
Yeah.
When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be living in a ghetto. You don't know what it's like to be poor. When you're white.
Do you think Bernie Sanders is the best candidate to run the country?
It's not even a question. He's saying everyone, we're all in this together. It's not splitting people up, just like you were talking about racism.
Do you think we should build a wall?
Even the idea that a wall is going up, like, first of all, that's the most absurd thing in the world. If you ever go down there, a 3,000-mile wall or a 2,000-mile wall, I mean, it's never going to happen. So we're just talking fantasy.
21,196.18 kilometers. That is the precise length of the Great Wall. The project proved to be very difficult as the Great Wall zigzags and winds up and down mountain edges and valleys.
You know, to make a physical wall, just like a prison wall, is to separate one person from another. And what we want is to be together. You go, oh, terrorism? Let's go kill terrorists. Now you've become a terrorist. You know what I mean?
What do you think we should do with the terrorist problem?
We just need to look at the root causes of why there are terrorists.
What do you think is the root cause for terrorism?
Poverty. Poverty is the first violence.
Right, you stupid fuck!
We should be just giving money and support to countries so that they can have a viable life, and then they won't have the reason to be so desperate as to want to kill people.
Do you think it has anything to do with their religion?
No.
The religion of Islam?
No. Not at all.
Do you think allowing undocumented immigrants into the United States poses a security threat for us?
No. Why even have a nation? I mean, every time I cross the border and have to have a passport, it's a violation. We should have freedom of movement. All these rules are ridiculous.
What the fuck is this?
What do you think about Donald Trump?
I think that Donald Trump is a fascist.
I fucking knew it!
What makes Donald Trump a fascist?
Well, he wants to enumerate Muslims. He wants to round up millions of people and deport them. He wants to build a wall.
Do you think Trump supporters are racist?
Yeah, they absolutely are.
Why do you say that?
Because all his rhetoric is about hate towards Muslims and immigrants.
What about Bernie Sanders supporters? Are they racist or violent?
No. Not at all. I mean, it's a completely different vibe.
This is becoming violent. There is pushing and shoving going on inside this arena. People are throwing objects. Police are now escorting some protesters. As my camera just panned back over, you could see this large section of protesters I was referring to earlier. They're now shouting, "Bernie, Bernie," obviously in support of Bernie Sanders. Security does not have a handle on the situation here. It is total chaos.
Do you think we should allow illegal immigrants into the United States?
Yes. The whole thing of illegal immigrants is stupid.
We got a big country. There's enough space for all of us.
Even though it poses a security threat to our nation? What security threat?
Yeah, what security threat are immigrants facing?
It appears at least one of the attackers slipped into Europe in the wave of refugees who fled Syria.
The clue is in a passport found near the body of a suicide bomber outside the soccer stadium.
The man carrying the passport crossed to Greece from Turkey, the same route used by over 600,000 migrants this year, many of them Syrian refugees.
ISIS could use the flood of refugees to smuggle its fighters into Europe. But Scott, this case seems to show just how easy it is to do so.
What threat do undocumented immigrants face to us?
Yes, are your parents legal? I'm asking a question. Obviously, they're not. Maybe you were born here.
Don't listen to his bullshit.
Maybe you were born here. But were your parents legal?
You are racist.
Yes, it
you
does.
You are a racist.
Because it shouldn't be in this country.
Racism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God.
They can go back to whatever country they were born.
Everyone in this country was not from here. We're all immigrants.
Exactly.
We're all immigrants.
Look,
a lot of people have done it before.
That's what God gave us. That's what makes us all equal. He gave us rights. Now fuck you.
Mexico is very hard on their borders. Why don't you go down south?
This is going to prevail. Heaven and earth will pass
But you lost the land. Thank God you lost the land. You think we want America to be like Mexico? No. If you want it, go to Mexico. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
You're browner than us. He is browner than us. You go to Mexico. He's accused me of dying of AIDS. He's called me a girl. He is homophobic. He is racist. Why would we halt Islam? Islamic people do nothing wrong. It is a bunch of group of people who are terrorizing has nothing to do with the religion.
Any company, any store, any judge goes against
That's the main reason.
Fuck Donald Trump! 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 USA! 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 USA!
Red team, guys, turn this way. Red team.
Gotta motivate.
We have tape. We're actually looking for gender diversity. It's actually
You got 2 down. You guys are 2 down. Donald Trump! Fuck Trump! Fuck Trump!